Greetings, Ashen here today, and I'm going to be talking about my PS2 horror games collection. That's right. Now I do have another video that shows some of my horror games off. It is the rare PlayStation 2 horror games collection. Those will not be included here, but I am going to talk to you about the rest of my collection. So if you want to check out that other video, be my guest. But for now, let's get started. To start with, we have the Suffering series. There are only 2 games in this series, and I absolutely love both of these, so I highly recommend you play them if you like survival horror. It's kind of like Silent Hill in a way, but you're this badass dude named Torque who goes around killing the monsters, and you could actually battle. You're more empowered in this game, so it's not that same kind of scare like in Silent Hill. But at the same time, there are manifestations of horror, so in that element, you can see sort of a connection. But I absolutely love these games. You start off in the first game as Torque, you're on death row, and all of a sudden an earthquake happens and it shakes the earth, and all these horrible monsters start appearing in the prison and slaughtering everyone, guards and prisoners alike. But Torque has to get to the bottom of this. How is he wrapped into all these demonic things? And then after the first game ends, you get into the second one, and they sort of do an Evil Dead 2 thing where it's, it is a sequel, but they change it just a little bit so that it fits a little better as a sequel. And this game is really an expansion on the original. I like the gameplay a little more, the graphics are a little bit better, and the universe is very expanded upon in this one. So overall, I really love these 2, and I'm really sad that this series ended with these, but I highly recommend you pick them up if you want. Next up, we have the Manhunt series 1 and 2. Once again, this is a series that sort of ended with PlayStation 2. I know that they had a Wii port for these 2 games, but that's it. It was just a port. The series is pretty much done with these, I guess, because they're too risque. But this series is awesome, and I love both games about equal in this case. You start off as somebody who is a known killer on death row, and you're put into this crazy game of death where you have to survive, and if you survive, then just maybe you're going to get off of your sentence. So both of these games are really wonderful, and there's a lot of sneaking around and tactics to them. I would have to say that the gameplay in number 2 is a little bit more superior in my opinion. Number 1 is really good, has a sort of a different feel to it, but number 2 is just a little bit more refined. So once again, like they used to do in a lot of old games, they would just improve it, incrementally improve the games as they went on. So another series of games that I'm really sad to say ended, but you can always pick these up for PlayStation 2, and they are a wonderful play. For my third set of games, I'm going to Evil Dead Regeneration and The Thing, because these are both kind of based on movies, so I thought this would be kind of a good duo. There was another game of the Evil Dead for the PlayStation 2, but I really didn't enjoy that game very much. I thought this was unbelievable improvement over the original game. So if I had to recommend one, based on the movies, Evil Dead Regeneration, you go around as Ash, and you get your little companion here, which is really kind of cool, and he makes nifty little comments and stuff like that. All twisted and wonderful. And then this game right here, The Thing, it is a bit of a flawed game in my opinion, but The Thing is a game that really does ramp up the paranoia. It does justice to the atmosphere of the film. And overall, if you can really get into it, then The Thing is a good game to play. Although it was one of the more difficult games for me to really get into. And the last game I have for you is Trapped. Yes, I hardly ever hear anyone talk about this game, but it is very fun, very dark, and just an all-around good game. I highly recommend this if you're looking for a little bit of a puzzle game. You play as Princess Allura here, and people are coming to get her, so she has to put down traps in her castle and try to kill them. Now, what makes this a horror game is the fact that, obviously you're somebody in distress who's trying to survive these invaders, but at the same time, you get to see these people horribly die. So that's one of the aspects about this game that I really enjoy, and I've never seen a game quite like this before that embraces the horror element of a situation like this. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, but kind of still in the horror genre, as I would say, then go ahead and check out Trapped. Alright, well thank you for watching my PlayStation 2 horror collection. These aren't the rarest games, but they are all fun to play. And I highly recommend you go check them out. I've given you a big variety here, and if you happen to have a PlayStation 2, then these are all more affordable games you could pick up and have a good time. And they just don't make games like this anymore, and it's a real shame because if another system had a library like this, I would definitely go and pick it up. So if you're a big horror fan like me, then hopefully I've given you some good ideas on what you might want to play. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a good evening. Yes.